So about the Warlords. The last we have seen of the Warlords, we were left on a cliffhanger. All the Warlords had marine ships swarming their islands. Some were fighting back like Buggy, while others like Mihawk were running away. This was all the way at the end of Act 2 of Wano, as a breather before we started the war. So it has been quite a while since we have seen them. We probably won't know how they are doing until after Wano at the earliest. So I wanted to talk about the Warlords today, about what they will be up to now, since they are no longer Warlords. Before that though, like and subscribe for future content. The Warlords were recognized as one of the 3 great powers, so the Marines just letting them go like that is kind of a big deal. This will force a lot of the Warlords to start being active again, because for as long as they were Warlords, they were kind of kept on a leash. They had a mutual agreement with the Marines to not mess with them and vice versa, like Boa Hancock becoming a Warlord in exchange for the protection of her island. But with this mutual benefit out the window, they'll have no choice but to start doing more pirate stuff. Mihawk, for example, is going to be way more active, I imagine. For probably the majority of the time, when he was a Warlord, he was doing nothing pretty much. Most of the time he was just sitting at his castle doing nothing. Sometimes he would come out and fight, like when he showed up at Baratie, but I imagine that's not an everyday thing. Now the Marines will be after him though, since he is the strongest Warlord. He will probably be a priority for them. Their bounties won't be frozen anymore too, so for Mihawk's bounty, it'll probably go up to 2 or 3 billion. Actually, we don't even know his current bounty now that I'm thinking about it. The Marines usually invite Warlords when there are still new pirates, so probably only when he was just starting to make a name for himself. But yeah, I expect Mihawk to wreak a lot more havoc now that he has the excuse to. Mihawk seems pretty tame from the looks of it, but when he saw the Marines show up, it looked like he was just waiting for something like this to happen. For Hancock, it will mostly be the same as Mihawk, probably even more honestly, since she became a Warlord to protect Amazon Lily. But now that their truce is over, the Marines are coming after them again. Boa will probably be the most direct enemy to the Marines, unless they just leave the island alone. But they probably won't stop going after it, since it isn't affiliated with the world government, and they raid ships for stuff to support the island, I'm pretty sure. That's why they created the crew in the first place. Also the fact that Boa and her sisters used to be slaves. With Boa's bounty unfrozen, it will probably go up to 500 million. Her bounty while it was frozen was 80 million, when her crew was still new, so it'll shoot up by a lot. For Weevil, he'll probably be more or less the same as he is now. He was already wreaking havoc wherever he went, but as a Warlord he was neutral with the Marines, but now he isn't anymore. Not all that much will change for Weevil. He'll just keep doing what he already does. His bounty right now is 480 million. It'll probably go up, but not by that much, 600 million maximum, I would say. For Buggy though, a lot will change. After Buggy got the Warlord life, he was able to make himself pretty comfortable. He got to run his own island and have that group of guys from Impo Down work under him. He wasn't even really doing anything either, at least I'm pretty sure he wasn't. He just stayed on his island doing his own thing. That's the weird part for what the Marines did. They removed their connection with the Warlords, but that didn't mean they had to try and take them in, at least not instantly, because for Mihawk there was no point at all. He was just chilling on his island, keeping to himself. If they left him alone, he'll probably still just be on his island, or at best do minimal damage, but it'll probably end up with even more damage being done now, since they are going after him. Unless they put at least 1 or 2 admirals on that ship, the ones that are going after Mihawk, they just wasted an entire fleet. For Boa, I guess I could understand, and Weevil as well, since they were attacking ships and towns and stuff. But Buggy and Mihawk were doing nothing. Buggy ends up escaping anyways, but it was pretty uncalled for them to go after him. When they saw Rayleigh at Sabaody, they didn't act on it. They acknowledged him being there, but he wasn't causing anyone harm, and they knew it would take a lot to bring him in, so they just left him alone, since it wouldn't be worth it. I imagine Mihawk is stronger than a retired Rayleigh. Mihawk is still in his peak, so he could probably end up doing more damage. But yeah, Buggy's bounty will probably soar too, since he was known to be one of the heads of the people that led the Impo Down escape with Luffy, so 400 to 500 million probably. He will show up at a random time later down the line, then end up doing some more crazy stuff on accident that ends up benefiting him. And for the other Warlords, nothing will change. Though Flamingo is already locked up in Impo Down, and his title was already stripped away, I'm pretty sure. Moria is either dead or working for Blackbeard now. Kuma is just a slave now. He isn't even really a Warlord anymore. But yeah, that is pretty much all I had to say. The Marines made some unnecessary enemies in my opinion. Well, it was a majority vote, so what can you do? But it will end up biting them back later on though. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe for future content. Peace.